John Meek, and this is my review of The Sonic Boom by Joel Beckerman. Anyone that has frequented a Chili's on a regular basis, or any other Tex-Mex establishment for that matter, probably recognize the sound of a sizzling hot platter of fajitas. It might even have brought to mind the smell of the onions and peppers, and the true aficionado might begin to have their mouth water at this point. Joel refers to that as a boom moment, a sound so familiar and powerful that it triggers memories and emotions in the listener. So far so good. I do love fajitas, and I do recognize the power of that sound. Joel goes on to explain how we are constantly surrounded by sound, and we naturally learn to filter out what we're not immediately focused on. Did you hear the birds chirping in the fajitas clip? Or did you immediately zero in on the melodious tune that the chicken was singing from the grill? Back in my days in the Navy, the ship was constantly humming with so much noise that what truly drew our attention was its absence. Sure, the boatswain's mate piping reveille was annoying and it woke you up, but in reality, it did not jolt you upright and awake nearly as quickly as when the ship would go hot, dark, and quiet, because that signified that something was wrong. I guess truly this is more of a sonic vacuum than a sonic boom. Beckerman goes on to describe many other recognizable bits of sound, from the roar of the MGM lion to the NBC tritone. While a boom moment definitely has a wow factor, these other things are just sonic branding. And while they are important, and yes, we've heard these sounds so many times across the course of our lives that we immediately identify the company that they represent, they're not earth-shattering. I definitely recognize the sound of the MGM lion, but it does not bring to mind any moments of cinematic glory, nor does it cause me to want to rush right out and get a big bucket of butter-slathered popcorn. I'm curious if the millennial generation even recognizes the NBC tritone, because my generation was the last to truly be stuck with only 3 channels of TV. I wonder, as the world moves on, if that particular sound is just headed to become another piece of the forgotten sonic rubbish heap, like many others from days gone by.
You've got mail.
Beckerman also describes Disney's use of sound to create a different feel for each of its different worlds, and the sound dampening effects it utilizes to eliminate crossover and confusion between those worlds. This is an ingenious use of sound, no doubt, but again, not really a boom moment. Of course, I've spent a lot more time at Chili's than I have at Disney. I did initially enjoy his description of the efforts to tweak the recognizable Super Bowl tune into modernized bits and pieces, smoothing out the transitions between the evil of the cash cow commercials and the actual sporting event, up to the point where he threw his shoulder out trying to pat himself on the back. Personally, I believe the strengths of this book could have been presented in a much shorter medium. It would have made a really interesting magazine article. In fact, Jack Hitt managed to do just that in September of 2016, utilizing only 13 pages of the California Sunday magazine. By comparison, Beckerman took 168 pages to drone on and on and on with self-aggrandizement. When he's not trying to promote the services of his company, Beckerman does an outstanding job of explaining the importance of sound and the ways that it can both positively and negatively affect an experience. I do believe in boom moments, but I think, like Chili's, they are a magical, happy coincidence. No matter how much money Mr. Beckerman wants me to spend with man-made music, I don't think that they can automatically create one of these moments for me. And on that note, I'm off to get some fajitas. Have a good day.